Good morning. I hope you all had a good night's sleep, or maybe like I did, you also experienced sleeping problems due to today's presentation. If so, rest assured you are not alone. Oh. Because in the States, roughly 50 to 70 million Americans experience sleeping problems. And research has shown that factors such as age and psychological factors play a role in problems during sleep. And additionally, societal factors like traffic noises or smartphones also or might cause disturbances during sleep and consequently affecting our quality of sleep. And this sleeping problem endemic could lead to serious problems on the public health. And multiple studies have actually shown that sleeping or poor quality of sleep is associated with risk of suicidal thoughts and behaviors, cancer, cardiovascular diseases, and also depression. And therefore, a lot of health benefits can be gained by tackling sleeping problems during our night's sleep. And in our project, we aim to model these sleep disturbances on our quality of sleep. But first, let me explain to you what a normal night's sleep is. So the optimal sleep duration is 7 to 8 hours of sleep. And in this table, you can also see the different sleep stages. And there are actually 3 overarching sleep stages we derived from the literature. So first is light sleep, and this entails the non-REM sleep stages 1 and 2. And during this stage, eye movement stops, heart rate slows down, metabolic function slows, and your body temperature also decreases. And after that, you have deep sleep, which is the non-REM stage 3. And during this stage, muscles are completely relaxed, blood pressure drops, and breathing slows down. And in the last stage, REM sleep, this is also called the REM stage 4 sleep. And during this stage, your eye movements, they move rapidly, and your heart rate increases, and also your respiration. And this stage is actually characterized by our dreams. So we also try to measure quality of sleep by looking at the different. So we try to model or measure the quality of sleep by looking at the different stages and the time spent in those stages. And consequently, from the hours spent in the sleeping stages, we can also derive what health domain would benefit the most. So literature has shown that light sleep is associated with memory recovery, deep sleep with physical recovery, and REM sleep with emotional recovery. And in this schematic model, we try to translate what the literature says about sleep stages and try to make a simplified schematic overview of those of the literature. So what you see here is that light sleep flows into deep sleep, and after that it flows into REM sleep, and these are all linked with the different health qualities or health benefits. And what we tried to model was also the disturbances which affects the different stages independently. And after that, when you are disturbed, you move back towards the waking state. And we try to make this by the following methods. So we first try to make a basic sleep model, and after that we try to add on the different disturbances. So in our basic sleep model, we model 2 sleep cycles. And these 2 sleep cycles, they reflect the whole night's sleep. This is because we had a bit trouble with the timings, etc., or with time constraints, so we only have 2 cycles. And for the duration of the sleep stages, we used empirical data that was derived from the values from a hypnogram. And what we can see, or what we observed, was that the light sleep increases, deep sleep decreases, and REM sleep increases during a night sleep. And on top of that, we tried to add on the disturbances. So we made different states for the disturbances. And when disturbance was on, the cycle restarts again. So what we eventually made was this model. So here you see, can you see my mouse, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay. So here you see two levels, so the base level and first certification level. And in the base level, we have modeled two different sleep stages, sleep cycles. So first, this is the first sleep cycle, and this is the second sleep cycle. And in that sleep cycle, we have light sleep 1, deep sleep 1, and REM sleep 1, and consequently light sleep 2, deep sleep 2, and REM sleep 2. And they get their values from the first stratification level, which actually which give the timings of the different sleep stages. And after that, we also made 3 different outcome measures. So LS total, deep sleep total, and REM sleep total, which actually sums up the duration of the 2 different stages that belong to 2 different cycles. Is that clear? And after that, we have made 2 disturbance states, which resets the cycle to this state. Okay, the results.
Yes. Okay, these are the preliminary results of our model. This is the data from the hypnogram fed into the model, and we see that the light sleep has a similar percentage as a deep sleep and a REM sleep. This isn't according to normal literature we found that would say that light sleep consists of more, consists of around 50%, and deep sleep and REM sleep of around 25%. But this is due to the 2-cycle part of our model. If we split this in more cycles, we can the percentages can count up differently, and the measures between the light sleep and the deep and REM sleep get pulled out a bit more. What you can see here is that light sleep is the first cycle. This works up with the timing. Once the light sleep is done, the deep sleep starts to follow. This follows for a longer period, and once that one is done, the REM sleep starts, which is depicted by the red line, and then the model flows in the same way with light sleep 2, deep sleep 2, and then REM sleep 2. We also made a preliminary result for 1 disturbance. We made a difference between an early disturbance and a late disturbance. In the early disturbance model, the disturbance is called at 100 minutes. And you see that the light sleep flows, then the deep sleep starts, but quite quickly the light sleep starts again. This makes the percentage of the REM sleep especially go down a lot, because the large part of the REM sleep is in the second cycle at the end. So an early disturbance has the most effect on the REM sleep. But this can also be seen if we produce a late disturbance at 300 minutes, because the 300-minute timing is still before the start of the second REM sleep cycle. Due to that, there isn't a large difference between these two graphs or simulation results. We also have preliminary results for multiple disturbances. To use the same timings, we kept them at 100 and 300 minutes. There you see that the light sleep is similar to the results I just showed earlier, but a little bit less. The REM sleep is a little bit less, but the deep sleep increases a lot. That is because the deep sleep is a middle part of the first cycle and the middle part of the second cycle. Yeah. Again, this is due to modeling choices with 2 cycles and the timing of our disturbances.
Okay, to conclude, as we already told you, that disturbances at the end of the beginning of the night have less detrimental effect on the emotional recovery, as we can see, because we saw of the different percentages and how we go to the different sleep cycles. One of the limitations that we had when doing this study was that someone's sleep architecture is very unambiguously described in the literature, which means we showed this very nice graph how we progress to the sleep cycles, but this is differently described in different articles. So we had a little bit of different difficulties to come up with the how we progress through the night. And from the model that we made now, we assume that there is a linearity when from the time that someone progresses through these sleep cycles. So to exemplify, we now only have these 2 sleep cycles, and we know that, for example, the REM sleep in the first cycle is not so much, and in the last cycle it is the most. And we assume that this is a linear progression throughout cycles. However, to become closer to the reality and have a more realistic model, we want to model all of the 5 cycles to make the model more accurate. And lastly, as you probably already saw, that we still need to do the validation and verify our model. And I think that's it. I want to thank you all for listening. And if you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask them.